And so it's time to look at the first plastic Sisters of Battle Canoness we got, and issue 42 of the Imperium magazine. Greetings everyone, I am Sister Lilia and welcome to my armoury. So, let's get this thing out of the bag. So, just get rid of the bag because it's in the way. So, Imperium issue 42. Wow, we had 80. It's like we had 90 earlier in the year. Let's see if I can choose. Got anything? Hopefully this is clear and readable because my camera screen is kind of fragged. Yeah, we've got some nice details on here. I'm loving the little detail chains here that are made to look like they've got glass in them. We've got the corset armour there, we've got the funky cowl, or big collar that I personally feel is a tactical collar that's supposed to have a holographic display on it or light up display on it. Mind you, actually seeing most of that information is going to be sketchy at best. The power sword's neat. The plasma pistol in her coat is hilarious because, you know, you attach plasma pistol that's been fired near fabric, it's probably going to ignite it or melt it. You've got the Rod of Office. I wonder if that's going to lose rules soon since this model is a limited run model. Originally for the Army Sister of Battle Army box, then put into the Combat Patrol, and then the Imperium magazine. The Combat Patrol has been discontinued, and the Army box was only a limited run thing. Yeah, this is a decent sculpt, but it is monopose and mono loadout, so have to take points away from that for that alone. It is a nice design though. I do like the power sword. I do like the Rod of Office. I also love the little dangle bits with the sensors on, with the sensors on the end of them. Or whatever they're actually meant to be called. I'm pretty sure the term is sensor, but we also use the term sensor for things like a motion sensor and so on, so it makes things awkward. So, let's just put that there. I'm just going to pull the chair in and let's take a look at the magazine. So, issue 42 of Imperium. Jesus, they gave this as the first sororitas model of the run, of the magazine run. That's a heck of a introduction. So yeah, we've got a breakdown of her, we've got Rod of Office, Rosarius hanging there. It's interesting they didn't actually give these things a name. Penance maybe? We've got a thing that you get to name her and her weapons with, which is always a bit of fun. We've got a breakdown of the Adepta Sororitas, or a little bit on it. Oh hey, they got that gorgeous art from Vigilus. I love that art. I hope it's not too flecky. Let's just turn that off for a moment. Hopefully that's going to show up properly. So, off to the other side we've also got the 6 main orders. We've got the Argent Shroud, Sacred Rose, Our Martyred Lady, Valorous Heart, Bloody Rose, and Evangelis. Now, if you've played Dawn of War Soulstorm, you'll be familiar with the Sacred Rose, to a degree. Whereas if you've experienced most other sororitas media, the main order who get depicted are Our Martyred Lady. It's interesting. I do like that they went for a different one with Dawn of War Soulstorm than they tend to go with for the rest of it. Also, Sacred Rose are getting character later this year. Neat, or maybe next year. It's a shame that the character budget for characters for the sororitas went to that model pretty much exclusively and not to, with barely any afterthought put to the jump pack Canoness, but oh well. At least we get the jump pack Canoness. I do love the way they did the backpacks there. Also, this model is kind of reminiscent of one of the loadouts for the Sister of Battle Canoness metal model, because it did come with one of the backpack versions came with the twin brazier. We didn't get the icon on the back, but that would be something people could put in. Interestingly though, they've spaced them out a bit more. Love the little servo skull. How within frame am I? Oh good. Yes, we've got Canoness, we've got Palatine. I feel like Palatines need more option. We've got Celestians who've been discontinued. Like, Celestians, Celestians were, for the majority of the lifespan of the Sororitas, after the 3rd edition codex, no, 2nd edition codex, which had them as just the command squad, which could be equipped with jump packs to go with the jump pack Canoness. Celestians went from 3rd through till 8th being our elite troops, our equivalent of Stern Guard. But unlike Stern Guard, they sucked. Like up until 8th edition, they had a rule that gave them more damage in melee. They had no melee weapons. They were just hitting with the butts of their rifles, with the butts of their bolters, which was silly. We've got talk on our Mounted Lady. Why are they using the Triumphant of Celestine? We've got talk on Junith Iridia and Valentera. Junith Iridia is a cool idea. I wish they'd done her as not a named character, but as an upgrade for Canoness to give her some funky name for a pulpit with a flamer underneath. Pulpit of something like Pulpit of Burning Virtue or something like that. We've got Valentera. It was the clergy of the cult Imperialis that first raised the alarm of impending heresy in the Verentia system. Across the capital world of Verentia, disquiet began to develop into outright rebellion, seeing the danger of the senior bishop of the Cathedrum Mirabellus made contact with the Order of Our Mounted Lady. The Order responded with haste from their nearest sanctuary, yet the fickle tides of the warp delayed them. By the time they arrived upon the planet, more than half a year had passed. On Taurus, the Cathedral was no longer a beacon of faith, but a blasphemous monument to chaos. Oh dear. Sisters fought brutal campaigns, slaughtering heretics by the thousands and consecrating the Cathedral once more in the wake of the victory. TS2 was made a shrine world in honour of the fallen. Huh, nice. Yes, we've got Vern TS2. I'm loving that art. TS2 habitation, blocked and Cathedrum, district, crawl with heretical cults and fiendish ambitions. The Order of Our Martyred Lady of Descent upon the world in force, tasked with purging the traitors and liberating the corrupted world. With the pragmatic hiss. We've got a short story about the battle. Now, a downside of this magazine is the main antagonist of the magazine is Necrons. And a lot of the story in this magazine is the Imperium fighting Chaos. Where is the Chaos, GW? And then this edition, it's Tyranids. And who knows, the magazine then might cover Necrons, but I doubt it. Necrons barely get a focus. They're a Xenos army. So yeah, we have continued story on the other side with a little blurb. Okay, so apparently I've been talking for 9 minutes already. Wow. So Verentus 2 sees treason and blasphemy. The wretched have fallen in To the cold embrace of the ruinous powers. This holy world shows the traitors no mercy. This shows the traitors no mercy, sisters. The stain of heresy must be burned away from this world and saved, to be saved from damnation. Sister Superior, Amelia Novena. Huh, nice. Where's that model? Where's that figure? I currently can say I have two versions of Amelia Novena. One of them being a model I converted to have an eviscerator, back when we still could do that for Canonesses. And the other being the McFarlane Toys take on her. Now I've got that mainly as both a costume reference and terrain piece, and outside of that it becomes less relevant. So, over here we've got the build guide and the painting guide. Then a data sheet, then a mission, which will become doable when after like 20 issues, because you'd have to get them and they don't come until later on. I missed out on that part of the magazine due to being all over the joint, literally. We've got her verse of Royal Warden, Purify the Shrine. Interesting, kind of boring terrain setup, but yeah, and then we've got the back there and talk about the next couple of issues. Funny enough, I think I have that issue. So I'm going to build this, and so the model is done. Now I chose not to record the process because it was just going to take me too long. But yeah, we've got some nice detail on it, and I think my painting skills might have improved a little bit. I've also got plenty of transfers that weren't in this magazine on here. The magazine didn't come with a transfer sheet, so I made use of one of my own. Well, one of the ones I already had. Being a Sister Battle player, you tend to accrue a few of them. So yeah, now, if I can just get the light to behave a bit, that's better. Now you can actually see it a bit better. So yeah, I do like this model's design. I would have liked if the kit came with, if the original model came with a lot more. This model was part of the Army box back in at the end of 2019, and then later the Combat Patrol. And it does not have any options on the kit. Now, that doesn't mean you can't swap out the weapons. It's pretty standard shoulder joint, shoulder mount for them, so it's easy enough to swap them out. But still, it would have been nice. That whole box had its problems. I'll talk about it more in future, funny enough, when I build up the models from it, because I scored the old Combat Patrols models minus the Rhino, so I have them to at some point work on. But in terms of comparisons, here's how a similar loadout of Canoness from the standard Canoness kit looks, and here's how the 2004 Canoness looks. Now the chainsaw on it's broken. I'd repost it back when I was working on it in 19, and we have another Canoness who I had to swap bits out on. The Canoness itself is a nice model. If you want to get one, go for it. Be aware, its loadout may not stay legal. GW have this thing where if they've discontinued a model, they don't like to provide rules support anymore for it. so we may well lose the option for Rod of Office, since it isn't on the Canoness kit. The closest we have is the Null Rod, which is a different weapon entirely. And yeah, at the same time, it is a nice kit. By all means get it, and if rules change, well, you can always rearm the model. Depending on what glue you use will determine how easy it is to change the weapons around, and heck, you could even just swap out the banner top for a Null Rod top and the blade on the power sword for a chainsword blade, and you've probably got a legal loadout right there. But yeah, it's a nice model. I like what I did with it. I attempted in the collar of it to put I put text in there, but I put it back so far that I don't think the model would be able to see it. My thinking of that cowl is it only really makes sense if it's a tactical collar that has like a holo display in your peripheral view that allows you to actually see information about the battlefield situation. Otherwise, this style of Canoness's setup makes more sense because she's not got her vision entirely obscured. Mind you, she's got a helmet on, so she's having to rely on the sight out of that, but Sororitas helmets are actually pretty advanced. I remember the whole prey sight discussion and so on. But yeah, back of the model, I went ham on this thing, so it took me ages to paint it up. And yeah, the one part I could do more on is the face, but yeah, not doing that today. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and have you got this model? What is your thoughts on it? If you've got it, and how did you build it or arm it? Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll catch you around. Bye. Golden Banner. Coming soon.